What's going to be the Sven
Prophet, Arc
response?
Warden, TA. That's the big three. Of what's left, at least.
I think TA is probably the best one and it's going to get banned by EgoBoys here.
All right, I'm going to throw out a bold prediction here, boys. If NoPing, 9th pick Lifestealer, they lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know
and
what? I was thinking
Lifestealer-
that 2 picks in. I was legitimately thinking that 2 picks in. Like, please don't pick Lifestealer for the love of God.
Why do you guys hate the poor LS so much?
Well, so I don't
What's so
hate
bad
the
about
hero
him?
as much as I hate the hero HFN combination with the way NoPing plays
Yes.
around it. It's just not raid boss enough, and you don't get enough from like the, oh, this isn't right, I'm going to run and retreat into the jungle like he can do with Dusa and TA and Power Farm. There's the TA ban. I think I also bring up the Lifestealer because when there's this many position 1s banned, I think he's in this like reserve list of the top 4 carries they're considering right now. I think Lifestealer is one of them.
Doesn't he just pick Luna now? Luna's left in.
Luna's
that fits
okay.
the bill.
With the Oracle, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not a good matchup, but okay.
Oh,
Ooh.
so
I
Gyro.
like this probably more than the Luna, honestly.
More
Obviously,
magic damage.
I think Luna is a better hero than Gyro, but I think Gyro is a better matchup versus Sven.
Okay.
Luna struggles so much when she gets jumped. She just feels a little bit more fragile than Gyrocopter. I think Gyro can actually man fight better. And when you have this Oracle, Kunkka damage mitigation, I like this. Also, the power spike, it's so much easier. You just farm eggs, and your hero, Luna, needs Dragonlance, Manta BKB. It's just faster tempo, which I think is going to match the Sven very well.
Wholeheartedly agree. And I think with this Tusk Sven axe, it looks really scary on paper, and if they're ahead, they can just keep running at you and it's really oppressive. But if it's even or EgoBoys are behind, like Gyro can basically just stand his ground with Oracle way in the back, and he is going to do so much spread damage to this majority melee lineup. This Gyro is a great pick. This is really good.
So what's going to be the response here?
Mid laner here for EgoBoys. What do we want?
Like they would love Invoker, right? But you're against Kunkka, so you just lose that lane outright.
Yes.
that's the big problem here. Like Storm's banned, you can't go Invoker. Void Spirit's gonna be grabbed. I'm not sure how like Void Spirit recently. Like it feels similar to Invoker, where all of its rotations, like 6-minute, 8-minute rotations, just got figured out, and people preemptively TP to like defend the safe lane.
So I agree. I think what they're thinking about with this Void Spirit pick is really a hero that can find the Oracle in the backlines. Because as we talked about, the initiation from EgoBoys is like you cannot go in and out, right? Void Spirit is the only hero that actually allows them to do that. So if they can find the Oracle, force the False Promise, or just take him out, then it's easy for EgoBoys to commit, and there's not going to be that much of a response. There's obviously the Kunkka boat, but it's not going to be as impactful as like a False Promise spell.
It's also a fourth hero that can like fight in pairs, right? I love looking at a draft and saying any pair of heroes can kill. Axe AA, Void Spirit AA can find that backline, get a kill, get out, while the Sven is farming. Like that's the most pivotal part of the game for me for EgoBoys, is like 10 to 15, 16 minutes in when Sven is clearing Ancients, killing Triangle, and they make that barrier in front of him, fighting with the other 4 heroes. Void Spirit's so good at doing that because he can control runes, he can get in and out, he can scout people, go with Tusk and kill people off.
Yep, I totally agree. And it's also a hero that doesn't need items to deal with Kunkka, right? Because you have Simulate. So it's overall, I think, probably the best hero that they had. Puck, was Puck banned this game?
I don't think so.
Didn't see.
I don't remember seeing him, but I don't have that screenshot next to me. So quick predictions here. We'll see if there's a pause. We might have a moment to fill, but I like NoPing. I think they're the slightly better team, and I think they've got a draft to be able to make this one happen. No pause and 2 smokes. So I'm going to dip out and hand it over to you two. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Gary and Bowie.
Thank you, yeah. NoPing, I love this Venomancer pick in that second stage. The Oracle and the Kunkka buffing people up. What do you reckon for EgoBoys? They got a chance? Hello?
Did Bowie DC?
We've lost Bowie.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Well, I'll hang out with you until Bowie comes back. There you go. I'm still here.
Well, you reckon NoPing? I think I'm on their side.
Oh, we got a pause
as well.
too.
Perfect
See,
timing.
There it is. He knew. Oh, gosh. Okay. Now,
He
whatever
knew it
you
was
had said,
coming.
though, I wasn't really listening to, so you will need to restate the question.
I think I was just verbatim repeating what you said, just the classic, yes, I always right, he knows what's going on. I'm a big fan of NoPing's draft. I do worry about the tiny sometimes, but it's Matthew playing it, so I think that probably alleviates some of my worries.
Yeah, I'm pretty inclined to agree. I do share a lot of your cynicism, is that the word, about the Void Spirit? I think it was Theban yesterday talking about how the hero felt good and has now gotten figured out a little bit. So I am excited to see if Alone can have a big standout performance here. Bowie, it sounds like you might be back with us, bud.
Hello, I am.
Oh,
sorry.
There you go.
Hi.
I mean, there was a pause, so I just wanted to join in the podcast, Welcome back, though. We were just lamenting about Void Spirit. What happened to Ember, by the way? What happened to all the spirits? It feels like we're seeing less and less of even Storm. We haven't really been given much priority so far in this qualifier.
I think he's just.
I think with.
Oh,
go on, Bowie. It's your turn.
I think that heroes, like, you have two categories of heroes that are like really strong dispatch, at least playing mid. You have the wave forcers, like the DK and the track, and you have the like scaling mids, like Invoker, Puck. So I feel like Ember and Void Spirit, they don't really fit that role very nicely. Like, they scale, but not as much. They also don't force towers. They're kind of in the middle, but they do serve, against Dazzles, Oracles, Wyverns. I think they have their place. It's just, I guess, harder to find games for them.
Yeah, it very often feels like, I think Storm in particular suffers when you have these 5-man ball lineups, right? When people are just grouping, team fighting, forcing battles around Roshan or towers. Storm can't just ball lightning in and find someone, because everyone's protecting each other. Void Spirit and Ember Spirit much better at kind of dipping in and out, because they've got multiple spells that allow them to do it. I think you're right, the inability to push towers really does give them some struggles. Well, 2 for 2 bounty runes. No real contest from either side. I get some good early vision down as well. Dire team got that mid lane observer ward out of reach of the sentry.
What I'm kind of scared about this lane stage is actually this bottom lane. I feel like the ability of Tiny to just toss this AA, put him out of position, could be... he already tossed his rises here. Could be very scary for the side of EgoBoys.
Yeah, you gotta be so careful. Immediate stun out with a cold feet as well. Chip away at Matthew, keep him away from that creep wave. It's always gonna be rough for that Sven against the Venomancer. And look at Matthew just tossing him around. Rises, get back over here. And burning through a lot of that regen. Like, he's got double set tangos, 2 mangoes on Rises Sven, handed a salve by Kara.
Yeah, I do like this Sven build
going into
here.
that regen.
Having so many mangoes to combo with the cold feet. It's going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, they go back again. No cold feet this time, even with the ping from Rises.
Huh.
So a little bit of missynchronization out from them. And in these other lanes, Dark Margot mid against that Alone Void Spirit. So far, Alone having a pretty good time. Does this swing back towards Kunkka once he hits level 3, 4?
3-5 starts to get pretty hard, but he can rotate. I guess the scary part is whether NoPing is going to be ready for those rotations or not.
Drakeel, is he going to be okay here? I think so.
It should be.
Still, I mean, only 1,600 towards the Blink Dagger. Bowie, hello?
Hello.
Hey, man, how are
Hi,
you?
Bowie.
I hope I'm fine. Yeah,
Looks
feeling,
like
feeling really good. What did I miss here?
NoPing is doing real well. Dude, you missed a bloodbath. At 11 minutes, we had a 5v5 fight in mid lane, and NoPing got the tower and also killed alone. So they're kind of cruising right now.
Okay. Looks like Sven going for that BKB, so no Sanj for him.
Yeah, do you normally get the Mask of Madness? I feel like the last couple Sven games I watched, that they skipped the mom. Did I just miss that? Is this stock
I
standard?
think if you're far ahead enough, like if you got enough levels in the laning stage, you're not necessarily forced to do it. I'm unsure. Okay, they're gonna find Matthew here.
Yeah, Matthew's dead. I think he did it for the move speed, right? Against Venno.
The move speed is good. I
okay.
think he might have bought the mask before he dropped the possessed mask, because I don't feel like you go mom, especially if you get the possessed mask. But since he was kind of under leveled, I think he needed the HP regen so he doesn't like, you don't want to farm being 20% HP.
Yeah.
So...
I think you need it against Venno as well, like move speed and lifesteal against the damage over time, pre-BKB especially.
It's definitely good. They nerfed the move speed because like you could buy a windlace, right? And it did buy the windlace on top of the mom, so
yeah,
it definitely helps for sure.
That is a good shout out though. That the value windlace here against Venno, it's like every little bit helps. Is kind of the strategy, I suppose.
Yeah, I think NoPing's plan from the very beginning, like breaking the laning phase at what 8-9 minutes, and just bringing like 3-4 plus heroes to every team fight. It's completely ruined EgoBoys' plans, who wanted to kind of piecemeal put fights together little by little here and there. It has been just a 5-man rotation for the past, what, 8 minutes? 8 minutes of 5-man from NoPing.
I mean, the fact they're actually taking this tier 2 for free is crazy. I think EgoBoys, it's nice they're defending, but they're already late. Oh.
They get a blink call. Dark Margo ice blasted. Where's the Oracle? Hiding. Pandaboo gets the false promise, barely in time, but in comes the Void Spirit. The boat will fly over the top of them as Matthew's brought down, but traded for Tano. Another astral step from Alone. Gets the Oracle kill, but Rise is still struggling. He's moving so slowly forward, being kited and dragged with the X mark and focused. HFN picks up that double kill, and there's no real answer for this NoPing group up, and Pandaboo's positioning was perfect.
Yeah, he was actually so greedy with the false promise. I almost felt like Dark Mago might have died, but the Sanj with the ghost ship on top of it, it's just so much HP regen. I don't think, even if you like right-click him for the entire duration, I think it's very hard to get the kill on that Kunkka.
It's just so much AoE damage. You look at that recap. It's like 2,700 done by Venno, 2,400 done by Kunkka, 3,900 done by Gyro. Like all of the cores just put out this big damage. The Tiny, unfortunately, got killed early on, but it's hard for EgoBoys to commit to these proper 5v5s, especially when the Venno ult is just ticking you down.
And it's also on Radiant side of the map. Yeah, I mean, HFN's still tanky, and he's got Oracle behind him. He's down to half HP, and they realize they don't have the burst damage to kill him.
That's sad. They didn't even get close, man. He's got the S and Y too. Oh, such a good item when you've got an Oracle on your team.
Look at his HP, actually. He might have more HP. He has more HP than this Sven, guys. This is insane.
He's huge. Also, you think about where the fights are happening. Mid tier 1, Radiant on the defensive, right? Because NoPing are pushing. Bot tier 2, exactly the same scenario. It's really a massive struggle for EgoBoys to find a fight on their own terms, because they don't have these heroes that can shove lanes, like what we were saying. They don't have that wave shover that can set things up in the dire top jungle, that can go into dire triangle to contest the gyro. They're always reacting.
I think that this is also a timing issue, because in general, the laning stages being equal, Sven should be ahead of the gyro in net worth, but in this case, they were kind of even before all of those fights went wrong for EgoBoys, which means the Sven's timing never really came online. It feels like he's always just behind enough that he doesn't have the burst damage to kill anyone before the Oracle False Promise. And then it's really hard to play Sven, because you want to be playing from ahead at all times.
Yeah, like he needed BKB in the last fight, and then he needs BKB Blink in the next fight. And a missed call from Drakeel means Dark Margo gonna get the X mark torrent with the bow coming through. Axe under the damage of HFN, gonna get burst down. I mean, Tano, he can't even... He gets the snowball in the last second there, but the Fortune's End really caused problems for him, as they do get a good punch on Matthew. But the trouble being is Tano and Drakeel both annihilated by NoPing's magic damage. Overwhelming EgoBoys at their own tier 2. Again, it's NoPing moving forward, setting up a fight on their terms.
And yeah, the scarier part, I think, is that the Sven can't even force the bottom tier 1 because he understands Kanka has so much range that he's gonna punish that with no BKB. I guess he does have the BKB, but doesn't want to use it for that. It just feels like EgoBoys are always reacting to these pushes, and they don't get anything in return. It's really hard right now. I don't even know what's their plan. They have to try and contest the Roche, so try not to lose total control of the triangle, but against the Venomancer, that's really hard.
Yeah, I guess their teamfight plan doesn't change, right? They want to catch the Oracle, as it looks like Oscar is still going to get picked off. Tried to force staff himself away, but was just a step too far forward as Roshan, potentially opening up to EgoBoys to take.
Interesting. They do have
It's
the
a
tusk.
slow one.
Alright, I think that's actually good. Yeah, they have tag team, they have DR with Corrosion. Let's see what Dark Mago does here.
He's going to get shard blocked. Trying to pop the smoke on them. Drakeel. He sees him. Could go for the blink call. A little bit scary, though, as Pandaboo sniped out by Alone. Good move out there as they kind of smoke inside the Roche pit, fake things around. Another hero in the grave, but it's still a slow Roche, right? God's Strength, Mask Man has popped out. God's Strength's going to end pretty soon, but it looks like NoPing have given up any chance of contesting it.
Oh, this is just barely fast enough. Yeah, I think they're gonna get it. All right, pretty good move, but still, gold advantage is very high on the side of NoPing. All right,
they're still gonna fight this. Ice Blaster's out. Rises gets the Aegis. Oscar moves into the pit with the BKB from the Sven. He's gonna stand his ground and fight the Venomancer, who's got the boat over the top of him, but a TP out from Sven means the rest of his team's forfeit. Their lives are claimed by HFN.
okay. I mean, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. They... Like, that Aegis would allow NoPing to get the last tier 2 tower, control triangle. They slow down NoPing. I don't think that's necessarily... Like, I don't think the EgoBoys has the late game, but they might find another timing with this blink being done for Sven, and obviously the fact he has 2 lives. So this buys them time.
Gives them that opportunity just to jump in and blow people up.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even step across the river for once.
Has blinking 4.
He looks pretty dead to me.
Yeah,
Pandaboo's here. HFN's gonna get this kill, isn't he? HFN wants it. Go on, give it to the gyro.
Nice. Alright, so... go on, sorry.
Yeah, so you got Aegis, and then you look at the map and you think every single lane is pushing towards Radiant base. So you're wasting, what, a minute and a half, 2 minutes of this Aegis time just maintaining lanes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's not the end of the world, because EgoBoys, they were so far behind that I don't think they had higher expectations for these Aegis. But, you know, as long as they can farm, and as long as... I would like to see those tier 1s falling, especially mid. So they do have enough time for that, at least. We'll see what they're waiting. They do have the blink on the Sven. Kion, Void Spirit, I don't think that's really necessary. Axe, BKB, also pretty far away. I actually feel like they have to smoke in the next 1 or 2 minutes for a play.
Yeah, go get something done. And while you're saying that, you look at NoPing and what they're doing, they're a step ahead. They're getting ready to smoke themselves. They want to go and make a move with this haste rune. TP Dark Mago into mid, grab the haste, smoke up, and they want to make that preemptive move. Oh, but it does look like EgoBoys trying to get themselves into position as well. HFN shows in the mid lane. Immediate blink call, Ice Blast. They're trying to hunt for Pandaboo in the back. Good jump from the Void Spirit, alone there with another snowball as Rises gets towards Dark Mago. Kara does get slaughtered by HFN. They pick off the 2 supports while Pandaboo is still alive. They've got an X mark onto Rises, and he has no BKB. Sven's just going to die twice here. They kept HFN alive without even needing the saves out of Oracle, and it's going to be a massacre. Rises can't escape. He'll try Stormhammer and stand and fight, but the tips, mid-battle, HFN puts the tip onto Sven.
Oh no. That's actually so sad, because like EgoBoys thought that NoPing, they were ready, but NoPing, they were just smoking. So the Oracle was so far behind that even though Sven actually tried to go through the backlines, he doesn't find the Oracle. If they actually just jumped the Kunkka mid, I'm sorry, the gyro, they would have killed him because the Oracle was so far away, but they didn't know that. They thought NoPing was ready, and that actually hurt them so much. Wow. That's unfortunate, but yeah.
And it's proving to be real difficult to kill this gyro.
Hello?
They're trying. Pandaboo silenced. No false promise. That Agadem's on alone, paying off big time.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I think this is gonna... I mean, and again, it buys time, but I'm very skeptical about EgoBoys' chances in the game. Not only because of their heroes, but just because of how good I think NoPing is in situations like this compared to them.
Yeah, their team fight execution is real
They're
good.
a major team, you know? It's...
Big difference.
Yeah, it is.
Look-
Go on, sorry.
Oh, they'll get the tier 1 mid. You wanted it. So at least something opens up for them, and a good deep ward behind that triangle on the Dire side as well.
True. I think, yeah, they also slow down the gold advantage a little bit. Oh, Sven, can he get this unit?
Oh yeah, absolutely can. It's a god strength for it, and a mana pause at the end.
FPS issue, maybe?
It's always a Discord problem, right? Team speak.
Yes. You got to be careful with pauses like this though, because it can definitely backfire. You have to be. It's kind of like the tipping. You know, when someone dies, you 5-man tip that person. You could be setting up for a huge comeback. All right, sorry, go.
So what are they doing? They've got the tier 1 mid, come bot, kill Vano, get tier 1 bot lane. It just never feels like they've got a firm grasp on where they need to be. With Roshan dead, there's no key objective EgoBoys can go and take. So it's just whittling away at little parts of the map. And then you look at the way that NoPing are playing, right? Shoving top to tier 3. They're going to force EgoBoys back. They're farming triangle. And they're going to try and clear out mid lane as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. At least they do get this tower. Roche still long ways to go. So they're going to get a couple of items on Sven. But I feel like it's really hard for them to find... it's going to be hard for them to find kills. Because when you look at the Kunkka, Tiny, and even the Jar, they're so tanky. This Sven, he's going to struggle to burst people down.
Yeah, it's really going to be exactly a case of get to the backlines, right? And that's going to come through vision, through the void spirit, from just jumping in, playing hyper aggressively. It's basically Alone's job just to dive in, get vision of whoever he can, figure out where that oracle is.
Totally. I like they're playing the triangle here. They're cutting mid and bottom. They're even forcing the tower. That's pretty cool. I think they are finally playing a little bit proactive. Oh, the turret?
Oh, that was close. And I guess there, with a couple of heroes running low on mana, they didn't want to fight, even though they have vision advantage around the area. Kara's even going to TP home in a sneaky little tree spot. But that completely relinquishes control, right? Because you go top, you've got no ancients to clear, no lane to push, mid lane's at the river, and NoPing are the ones, again, pressing forward.
Totally agree. I do feel like they are farming well though, and with the Sky Assange and the Void Spirit, you know, it's a pseudo BKB. He does have a little bit more leeway in the way he initiates. They're definitely looking a little bit better. The question is whether they're going to be able to get Roche. As I said that, Hara might be dead here.
Yeah, the Glimmer Cape, not going to last long enough. In comes Matthew with a toss back. Another minute and a half for Roshan to respawn, but again, control for NoPing around that Radiant Triangle, and the high ground push, it's actually coming. With a hero down,
high ground.
EgoBoys, they've got to defend their tier 3. 2 heroes are pushing top. Wait, there's no TP on Axe. No TP on Sven either. They've pinged this out. They know it's happened because of those wards. They saw the Axe of the Sven TP earlier on. Tano trying to cut waves in behind, but they've lost their barracks.
Backdoor.
Matthew's
Backdoor
dealing with a
protection.
tusk. Mid lane's dying. Backdoor protection's there, but HFN's still battering into these buildings, and Dark Margo, they should have enough damage to kill off the building. Denied by Alone. But what does that accomplish? Not too much. They get it on top of the HFN gyro. Pandaboo's ready with false promise in the Glitter Cape if he needs it, and it doesn't seem like he does. So God Strength, BKB gone. Plague Ward cancels the Blink Dagger on the Axe, and EgoBoys lose a full set of barracks.
This is actually crazy. And if they get unlucky with the Roche respawn timer, they're not going to have God Strength for the Roche fight. This could be game losing for EgoBoys. They're smoking anyways. I'm not sure about this, Gareth.
Oh, this is spooky. HFN gets jumped on. Where's the save, though? And they've got a snowball back onto the gyro. They kill off Kara's AA. I mean, this just doesn't look particularly good for them. HFN is able just to stand there, whacking into Drakeel. Alone's moved towards Pandaboo, but he's still got False Promise ready. His finger's on the trigger, and he doesn't need to pull it.
No.
They've got every kill they would have wanted. Roshan spawns in the maximum time, 3 minutes, so a bit sad for NoPing, but it feels like they can just go push out these lanes, maybe get to high ground in the bottom lane.
I agree. Oh, and look at TP from HFN, actually behind the tree.
Sneaky, sneaky. He's got the homing missile. There's no BKB, but he has the blink. Always getting closed in on. Matthew, blink, but no mana for toss. He'll have it in like 3 seconds. He's claritying up. I can't find it. Did they go on this homing missile?
Oh,
he BKBs for it. I mean, he had to. He was going to get tossed back.
Oh, man. This is... yeah, this is rough. I think that play with the Axe having OTP, that was probably what actually cost them the game, because there's no way they should have just lost those barracks. They had all of their resources. They were just not together. So just slightly greedy from EgoBoys. And also awareness from NoPing, right? We gotta keep tabs on those TPs.
I mean, yet again, it comes down to those mid-game moves, the decision-making. NoPing broke down that laning stage very early on, forcing the hand of EgoBoys to fight in these 5v5s, which just didn't work out for them. And then we're into late game. The high ground push comes very quickly. Drakeel's trying to start it off on HFN. The Void Spirit blows up Pandaboo. So good snipe onto the Oracle, who does buy back. The damage is overwhelming, though. Sven is gone through his BKB. There's no chance in hell they're surviving through this, and Dark Mago grabs a double kill for himself. Void Spirit has a buyback, but GG is called. Game 1's over.
All right. You know, I think the biggest problem for EgoBoys this game, besides the laning stage where the Sven was a little bit far behind from the Gyrocopter, is the way they took those fights. You would see like Axe initiating someone, which is fine, but the Sven wouldn't necessarily go on the Oracle. So you had the situation where the Sven was not bursting anyone, the Axe was not bursting anyone, and the Oracle had the luxury of actually selecting the false promise target. So maybe a little bit of oversight and also great positioning from NoPing.
Yeah, there was no panic for Pandaboo. He had several opportunities, you know, in a number of those fights to false promise. He was like, I don't necessarily need to. If they're spending all their spells on me, then my job's already done. But there we have it. Game 1, NoPing take the victory over EgoBoys. We'll have a quick break before we break down the rest of that game. So see you in a bit.